So I'm just sitting here on this little stool in front of the tank, just trimming some moss using the vacuum cleaner, and that was working perfectly. Welcome to a new video, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Today I have a little maintenance hack for you. When it comes to maintenance, I actually really enjoy it. I enjoy trimming plants. I find it quite therapeutic. But if there's one thing that I really hate, it's trimming moss. Some of the old-time subscribers might remember the previous scape that I had in the 70-liter scape tank with all the Fistonens moss. When I had to trim that tank, it was horrible. Like, it would take me maybe 3, maybe 4 hours to do just to trim the moss. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I think since that tank, I've kind of just really started hating trimming moss. But today we're gonna make it very easy for ourselves. I found a little hack. I did not came up with this hack myself. I found it on the YouTube channel from Liquid Nature. Liquid Nature is a shop in Vienna in Austria. They have a YouTube channel as well, and they posted a video about this moss trimming hack. But it's in German and I wanted to share it with you guys in English, so here we go. So in this aquarium right here, I tied a lot of Java moss to the branches of the wood. If you come a little bit closer, you can see that, for example, on this branch right here, like the moss has grown quite good. But it's starting to become a little bit messy, so it's a good time to trim it now, just to make it more compact. But the thing is, trimming moss works a bit differently than trimming regular plants like the carpet or stem plants, because those plants will always float up to the surface and you can easily scoop them out with a net or with a skimmer. Moss, on the other hand, doesn't float up to the surface, it'll actually sink to the bottom. So, and if you don't take it out, it can literally start growing anywhere in the aquarium. So if it will start falling in between the carpeting plants, like, it will literally take over the entire carpet. If it falls in between the stem plants in the back, it will start growing there as well and basically reduce the light that the stems will get. So it can get really invasive if you don't remove it properly. So that's where this genius hack comes in. We're going to make a moss vacuum cleaner out of a filter. Sounds very complicated, but it's actually going to be very simple. So what I have right here is the Dental Escaper Flow. This is a small external canister filter that's sort of designed to be a hang on the back filter as well. I really like it. If you've been following me for a while, you might have seen this filter already. I've been using it on the Twinscape experiment. So the only thing we have to do to this filter to turn it into a moss vacuum cleaner is we have to remove the inflow, we have to make a small adjustment to the outflow, and on the inside of the filter we need to make some sort of protection to make sure that the moss that it gets siphoned in doesn't get pushed out again. So it's actually very simple. We're just going to remove the inflow here. Now these two parts of the inflow we're going to use again. We're just going to separate them. So this part will go on the inside of the filter, and this we will use to basically modify the outflow of the filter. So I'm going to remove this little lily pipe, add this one here, and put the lily pipe back on. Just like so. You'll see later why I did this. And then we need to open the filter up. Okay, so here we have the filter head. So this hole right here, this is where the fresh water gets pushed back into the aquarium again. So we need to make some sort of protection here to make sure that the moss that we siphon out doesn't get pushed straight in again. So here I have the original intake from the filter, and I've just made it a little bit wider with some clear silicone hose. So now it fits perfectly into that hole. And then we take that little sponge again, and now we basically have a small filter to basically prevent all the moss getting pushed back into the aquarium again, if that makes sense. So now we can close it again. So the moss vacuum cleaner is now almost ready. The only thing we need is a suction hose to get the moss. So I have a little clear silicone tubing here that we can just put onto the intake like so, and then we're basically good to go. So the filter itself doesn't really have a priming button, so we just need to fill up with water so we can start it. So I'm just going to siphon some water in the filter. Okay, so our filter is already full with water. I'm just going to grab my scissors and then we can get started. Just to make sure that when we are plugging the filter into the socket, we have to put this hose in the water. Else, of course, it's just gonna suck in air and our filter is not gonna work. Okay, so let's try this. The hose is in. Let's plug in the filter. Filter is running. Still a little bit of air inside the filter. I'm just gonna wait until that's gone. Okay, here we go. Got my scissors. Let's start trimming. Here we go. So I'm just sitting here on this little stool in front of the tank, just trimming some moss using the vacuum cleaner, and that was working perfectly. Nothing was getting blown into the tank, even though the regular filter is still on. Everything was going into the hose, into our moss vacuum cleaner, and look at the result. I think it looks really good. So that was just one part, done in a few minutes. So now let's move over to this part right here. Alright, we're all done. So that took about 20 minutes. I had to stop once in between because the hose was a little bit clogged with moss. I think I just cut too much at once, or maybe I also siphoned out a leaf from the Java fern. But yeah, this is the end result. So the branch right there is nice and trimmed, and over there as well. So yeah, looking good. I'm happy with that. Let's see what our catch is. There we go. There's a good amount of moss in there. Just want to check also if there's no shrimp or small fish in there, but I was being careful, so I think we're all good. Alright, that was the moss vacuum cleaner. I think it was pretty cool. Now I'm starting to think what else we can do with this vacuum cleaner besides just moss. I think it's a cool little hack. I wish I knew about it sooner. I'm curious what you guys think of it, so let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. So that's why this genius hack comes in. What the f